boy, it has been a while since I've done one of these. For those out of the loop, over on my Twitch channel, I've been playing through Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade, and I've been really enjoying myself in doing so. I am planning to do an updated thoughts video later this month. However, to give you an update on how I currently feel about the game, while all of my criticisms still remain, I've managed to find an enjoyment of the game despite those things. I've always enjoyed the gameplay of Remake, but it mostly came down to the story, and that is not because it is not a one-for-one remake, but simply because I disagreed on if this new direction would actually be effective as a story. And if you want to hear more about that, you can listen to my discussion video with Sleep Easy on the matter. But the point is that I'm reinvigorated to talk about the game again, especially to celebrate the 25th anniversary of the original game, which is still one of my favorite games of all time. Now, for the 25th anniversary, people were hoping for Final Fantasy VII Remake 2. They were hoping for an update on Ever Crisis. What did we get? Well, we got literally nothing. Don't click off yet. We didn't get, absolutely nothing, if you don't count words and promises, which are incredibly vague. We also got this 25th anniversary logo, which features Cloud, Zack, and Sephiroth, and is a neat callback to the 10th anniversary logo. And we got this really sick render of Sora, posed like Cloud in the 2017 key artwork for Final Fantasy VII Remake. What a neat reference. But where is the substance? Where is the news? Well, there are two major statements about that. The first is Kitase saying that they hope they could show off something of Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2 this year. Obviously, this implies that Part 2 is not coming out this year, as he only thinks they will be able to share information on Part 2 this year. That seems to imply that it's probably not coming this year, and more than likely coming 2023, or at the very latest 2024. Instead, it seems that this year is focused more so on Final Fantasy XVI, a game that was supposed to receive information last year, but unfortunately was delayed by 6 months due to the pandemic delaying outsource partners from delivering their assets in a timely manner. It's also likely these delays have impacted Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2 as well, considering that it also probably impacted the outsource partners for that game as well. Not to mention, there seems to be a priority to get Final Fantasy XVI out first, and with it being heavily speculated that Final Fantasy XVI could come this year, it seems incredibly unlikely they would want to put these games so close together. But most interestingly of all this information is that there are more Final Fantasy VII projects in the works, with Tetsuya Nomura having this to say in his 25th anniversary message. Quote, "With all of these exciting new projects, I get a real sense of how much more people are supporting Final Fantasy VII. Not just fans from the original game, but also those who never experienced it are being drawn to the unique world of FF7. And there will be even more FF7 projects that started up after Remake coming in the future too," with the last sentence in particular emphasizing that there are many more unannounced projects that are going to be coming in the future. There was a rumor a while back of a Final Fantasy VII anime that was supposed to come to Netflix. It seems likely to me that'll be something that smooths the wait between Final Fantasy VII Remake parts. That being said, we already have a battle royale and a gacha coming, so it's completely understandable if there is a sentiment that this is milking FF7. And people may understandably feel this way at this point, and there are plenty of others who simply can't get enough. I also wouldn't be surprised if they attempted to do another Final Fantasy VII movie. Between Advent Children and Kingsglaive, it's quite obvious that Square Enix loves doing these movies. There's also the possibility that it literally just means that we have a ton more Final Fantasy VII mobile games. Now, I think this is the thing that really nobody wants. Even the mobile games that they are putting out, like The First Soldier and Ever Crisis, people are wanting to see on consoles. Could it also mean brand new spin-off games for consoles? Ideally, this would be what people prefer. However, with Remake already having multiple parts, creating a bunch of spin-off games in between may rub some people the wrong way, and very understandably so. As for my own take, I'm pretty indifferent toward all of this multimedia. Ever Crisis is probably the most interesting sounding thing, if only so that those compilation titles can have their stories preserved, for those who want them anyway. And with Final Fantasy XIV and 16, as well as the upcoming Stranger of Paradise, I don't see the need to be continuously immersed in just FF7's universe when there are so many ongoing Final Fantasy universes right now that you could also be into. But with all that said, Ultima, I want to hear from you. What do you think of these 25th anniversary announcements and, well, quite frankly, non-announcements? Subscribe, hit the bell icon, and let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you'd like to support this channel, consider becoming a patron like Glare Gullwing, with a link in the description below. Shout out to Glare and the rest of the Ultima community.